What's up? What's up? Namaskar. Welcome back to another live. I know a lot of comments I'm seeing here. Just I was negotiating on an offer. We have an offer presentation going on, so I have to juggle with multiple balls here. So sorry for the delay. So like I mentioned today, let's talk about Windsor market. What's happening in Windsor? The January data just came, so I thought I'll give you guys an update on the January market, and let's discuss, right? Like let's chat, see what's happening and what's going to happen in next few months, and also the rate hike again happened 25 basis points, so let's talk about that as well. So good evening all. Good to see you, Robert. Hopefully Windsor is turning around. It's rough going here in London. Decent houses don't last on last a week on the market. Kind of I'm seeing the same thing happening in Windsor now because the inventory is still low. Hey Harsh, to all my Windsor people, if you haven't checked out some of the Hammersburg houses for sale right now, you got some beautiful, some you got some beauties. Yeah, yeah, that's true. Hammersburg, there actually some of new houses are sitting on the market right now. That been for last 2 months, 3 months. Now slowly, people are trying to get them. Literally driving at the mouth of 353 Taxes Road in Hammersburg. What is steel? 599. Yeah, that's true. That's exactly. I have noticed. What happened, and that's caused Windsor prices actually to bump up. Richie, the live just started. Welcome, welcome. I love this makeup crew is putting up on finishing touches. I'm sure. Love it. So let me pull up the last month data to show you guys what's happening here. Let me share my screen so you guys can see entire screen. Share. Okay. So if you see the data here, and by the way, don't mind, like I mentioned in the last live, my baby started to get louder now. She's screaming every day because she's now 3.5, 4 months now almost. Um, her voice got louder, and she's making a lot more music. Reacting if I go and see her eye to eye contact, she's like, "Ooh, you dad again," indirectly with her sweet voice. So that's a fun journey going on. Really enjoying the parenthood. Thanks to the parents. Basically, because of the parents, I'm only just enjoying the fruits, and thanks to them for all the hard work. So getting into the Windsor market right here, this is a surprise. The listings actually gone up in January month. We have seen more comparative to December. The inventory was increased. That's why you see a growth of even compared to last year January, we have like 8%, 8.9% more. And the properties sold still down, like, so the number of sold properties are still less. But the average home price, if you compare with the last year, it's still down by almost 20%. But comparative to last month, here's the chat from December. If you see the December average home price, it was 473,000, whereas in last year 2021 December it was 575. So this month our average home price is 516. So we have an increase of almost math gigs here, 39,000. Probably the math geeks has to help me out here. Pretty good size increase just in 1 month, but also it was pretty much the December month we had a huge drop. So whatever the drop happened in December was recovered, but before still haven't recovered, from where we were coming from, from the peak market. So still the average price has long way to go, but there is a sign of people are still buying. There is a sign that there is more buyers on the market right now. I started to see bidding war. I listed a property, and of course the bidding war sometimes means nothing. If you're an investor, just keep an eye on this. um, we are some listings we are listing them for lower than the market value. For example, I listed a property on the market recently. Probably you would have seen the reel. The reel went viral, got 100,000 views. This one, the property stayed on the market for 4 months before I took over the listing by some other realtor. I don't want to mention the address. I don't want to mention the name. But probably the property sat on the market for 4 months. They couldn't get at least 300,000. And I looked at the property when the seller came to me. I did the analysis. The maximum I could find the property value is anywhere from 280 to 300 in that range. Um, and I suggested some few little things, and I got my contractor in, got those things fixed because he was flexible. He just completely trusted me, and we got that fixed. And I said, because we sat on the market, we have to be aggressive, because my when a seller is hiring me, my responsibility is to get him the best possible price. So because I know the market value based on the recent sales, just in that 30 days and 60 days sales, the market value was around like in that 280 to 300 range, right? So what I did, just to get more buyers to see the property, I listed the property for 239. So 239,000 got a lot of attention because it was the lowest listed property in the market, and in a pretty good condition. So the market value is in this price point, and I got 14 offers. And surprisingly, except the two highest offers, most of the offers were in that range, 280 to 300, because they're also realtors, are doing their due diligence for their buyers who did look at the market data. And of course, the highest offer, who likes the most of the property, who can see different potential for them, offered more than the market value. So, but what surprised me was 14 offers, because a couple of realtors told me, "Are you really telling the truth? Did you really get the 14 offers?" And I have to pin down everyone's name, because I'm a realtor. I don't want to lose my license for lying, right? So I put every realtor's name who sent me the offer. So that way now, okay, here you go, guys. I had 14 offers. And I have seen that on multiple properties. The property that we are working on right now, we got 4 offers. This property again, same to was on the market for the last 1.5 month. But now we are seeing buyers coming back. Maybe, I don't know. What's your guesses? What do you think was the reason? Um, I love to see your comments, but I'll share my thoughts. I think a lot of buyers have been waiting, and they have seen a significant drop, which is from, like, just you saw here, average home price coming from 723 to almost 500,000 is a significant drop. And also the recent news, if you guys have seen, the Bank of Canada has increased another 25%, but also there were a lot of articles talking that maybe this might be a last rate hike, or maybe there is another one for this year, another 25 basis points. But along with that, I was talking to a couple of my mortgage brokers that I work with. They said in last 3 weeks they have reduced the fixed rates almost like by the secure, for a primary home, the secure insured mortgages, you can get under 5% at 5 years fixed, under 5% for a 5 years fixed. So maybe that could be also a reason that caused buyers to take some leap of faith, because now they don't have to risk. They know that what their payment can be for next few months, sorry, for next few years. So no matter what happens to the interest rate, even if it goes up, now they don't have to worry, because the prime rate is at almost all-time high in last few years, 6.7, whereas you're getting lower fixed rate, and they have reduced 3 times in last 3 weeks. So that was a big news. I think that caused, given some confidence for the buyers who've been waiting. And also what I noticed here from the activities point of view, right? At least the listings has gone up a little bit more, so that means there are a little bit more sales. And also, if you see here, let me just scroll down. So if you see the sales, still the sales comparative to last year, we are still down. But if you compare with the December month, here, this is a chat that I have for the December month from the activities. Do. Here. So in the December, we had 230 sales, whereas this month we have 244 sales. A little increase in the number of sales. Generally, comparative to other months, generally December months, January months are slower. But again, that's what I'm noticing. And what do you think um, about all this data? Let me know in the comments below, and let me see. And also, feel free to ask any questions you have in the comments below. um, Let me jump on the comment section here, see who has questions, and any interesting comments about what's happening in the market. Hey Sarvesh, good to see you here, and good to see you on the Toronto event. If you don't know, I was in Toronto actually at a meetup. This is on Tuesday evening, hosted by Navjot. He's a good friend, mortgage person, also a social media influencer who does very good content for new immigrants on different topics. He hosted Ian, my good friend Sahas. Together they hosted an event, and there were like 100 plus people showed up, and they had to close the doors literally because the tickets were sold out. But we had a great chat about different things, different ways how immigrants can have a better life here. How you can achieve financial freedom through real estate, different topics. So it was fun. And Sarvesh, by the way, thank you for the sweets. Everyone in the house loved it. They're enjoying it. I ordered to become a realtor. I want to become a realtor in Ontario. Can we get on work permit? Yes, in Ontario you can apply for realtor license with permit, with work permit. Hello, Tarun. I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing? Hi, Madhavi. How are you? Richie, I think it's because of the interest rate hikes and Bank of Canada indicating no more interest rate hikes. Yeah, I think I feel the same way. Probably and also people have seen. I've been waiting. I have spoken to many investors in last few months. Right, a lot of people were waiting to see when it's going to be the bottom. Um, and let me pull up the slides here one more time, because this one thing that looked interesting to me, which I want to share with you guys. So let me scroll down here. So what I noticed, if you see, at least in Windsor market, the crazy drops happened in March, April, May, June, July. And from July, August, September, October 1 month was like again increase, but mostly we were in that 520, 523, and 511, and now 516. We are in that range. So I'm seeing that cycle of we are in that stable mode, not that crazy drops. It was increasing and decreasing, increasing. So I feel like we're in that stabilization period where prices might fluctuate in this range for next few months until the Bank of Canada stop increasing. So stop increasing, decreasing the rates, decreasing the rates. Until then, we might not see the big increases in the prices, because we are fluctuating in that 510, 520 average home price range since pretty much August. So again, I'm not an economist to predict the best, but from the data what I'm seeing, we are in that stabilization mode. Are you kidding me? You think more buyers are here? 200 houses sold in January. What a joke. I mean, I'm talking about there are more buyers, but I'm not talking about like more sales happening. There are buyers, but not everyone wants to buy. They want a good deal. They want at a certain price point. Then only they are making the move. But there are buyers in the market. I can tell that for sure, because we are getting at least 10 to 15 new calls every day from investors saying, we want a good deal, we want a right opportunity. So the sales are low, comparative to last year, comparative to 2 months down the road, 3 months down, 3 months ago, 4 months ago. But when I mean more buyers on the market, there are potential buyers who are eligible to buy, who want to buy, but because it's the market where they're uncertain at what price to buy. How much price is it a good price to pay right now? What if the price goes down? That question marks are there. That's what I'm referring to. Andrew, crazy. We live in the same city. Let's get the BMW sometimes. Andrew, yeah, feel free to try your best. Satya, these guys are so numbers just to make the hype of the market to get the commissions. I mean, again, Satya, I give my opinions on, again, yeah, I share that data, whatever I'm seeing on the market. I'm not saying to buy, I'm not saying to sell. I'm not that person to, give you my uh, hyping pitch to say, okay, buy, buy, buy. It's more about, where you are financially, what you want to do, what you want to achieve, and at the end, I talk about why investing in real estate is always a good thing in long run. Because if you're someone who can buy a solid property, that can positive cash flow, and you hold on to it for 5, 10, 15 years, we have seen the proven data again and again that you will have that freedom, because no matter what happens to the prices, the property will get paid down in 15, 20, 25 years down the road. And by then now you have an asset that is you leveraged bank's money. You paid 10%, 20% on a 500,000 property. Now your property paid unclear because your tenants paid your mortgages. So that's what we are talking about here. It's nothing to hype or nothing to give a false data. um, the Bank of Canada came out and said they expect a further decline in the housing market for Q1 and Q2. They rarely comment on housing market. BOC said in Q3 they expect a flat lineup. Yeah, again, that could be that could be happening. Bank of Canada was right in sometimes, was wrong in sometimes. So we have to wait and see. Andrew, I think I'm going to get my realtor license. What do you think? Good time. So, Andrew, if you want to get your license, it's not about the timing. It's more about you. Do you want? Do you know that real estate is a sales job, first of all, and are you willing to take that? Are you someone who is willing to give your all in? And it's a lot of competition, and of course you need to be top of your game. You need to generate your own business. You have to handle different things. And of course there are, in every industry there is a success ratio, 80-20, right? Like 20% of the realtors make good living, and 80% of the realtors, they struggle, they work hard, still not that much. So to tell if it's a good time or a bad time, it all depends on you. But there is all tools available out there that can help you to succeed. There is a lot of tools out there, lot of help out there. If are you someone who is willing to take that help? Are you someone who is willing to take that leap of faith? Are you someone who's willing to learn? Because it's going to be a lot of learning, right? So if you're someone like that, yeah, any time is a better time, especially this time of market. If you work hard, it's the sale is not going to be easy, because like I just mentioned, there's a lot of people who wanted to buy, but a lot of question marks, a lot of emotion behind it. So if you have to make a sale, you have to help them understand, excuse me, so they're making a good choice or not, because it's someone's biggest investment in their life, and someone's biggest emotion there, it's on the line. So you have to, if you're a person who can handle those things and learn how to, and there is always a way, you can always learn. 40% of the Canadians with variable rate would be able to ride out today's interest rate levels for 8.3 months before having to sell or vacate their home. That's an interesting stat, according to surveys. Yeah, that's an interesting stat. And I think, this is why, if you're someone, with the current variable If you cannot afford, then maybe now you might have to look into considering maybe turning your variable rate into a fixed rate, because a lot of banks are discounting on the fixed rate. Maybe make some calls, see what if you can lock up your rate, and fix it at a monthly payment that you can afford, continue to afford. So that way, no matter what happens, whatever the Bank of Canada decides tomorrow, if they want to increase, still it should not impact on you, right? So if you can do that, that would help you. Absolutely, the numbers have some tempting moving moves. Being dislisted, relisted affects the days on the market condition. Units sold not able to complete financing affect average sale price. Yep, that's right. In Atlantic Canada, average home price was still up 6% year to year in 2022. People still listing home for 20% more over April 2022 price, looking to buy, but won't want to pay over price. Exactly, Harsha. That's exactly a lot of people are in that position. There are lots of buyers to keep demand high enough to keep the supply down. That's true. That's true. Task video blog. What would you say about pre-construction investment? So that's an interesting area, especially the times like this, right? Because the construction cost, it still haven't gone down as much as it should be, because of the inflation. Still, it's still sitting at the high. The construction cost is high, which means the property you're buying a brand new home, the price is still higher, because they don't have that much margins for the builders. Whereas resale homes, it's more emotional, where you can get more discounts. So these are the times where you have to reconsider, if you're someone who already have full down payment and you're looking to invest, um, maybe resale you can get better discount than pre-construction. Unless if you're someone, you don't have an option where you don't have enough down payment right now, you only have like 5%, whatever the builders offering, like that payment plan that can extend for like 3-4 years. Unless in that options, I kind of would like to kind of take a pause on the pre-construction and just wait and see what's happening. Great point, Robert. I love it. It's not all about the license. Having a great mentor to help you along the way is more important. Yeah, exactly. That's. I also added one more thing to it. Mentor can be one physically in person in your area where you are, but also there's a lot of virtual mentors. A lot of YouTubers. There are like some successful real estate people who make content, educating and training on different areas. There is, I follow at least multiple people from US, a handful of people from Toronto, one guy from Vancouver. They share their tips, their ideas, and if you follow and if you implement in your business, you will be able to thrive. It is not a rocket science. The real estate is a very, very, very oldest business. That means all the knowledge is out there. So if you're willing to take that knowledge, you can thrive. Pradeep Yalamanchi, throw some light on Windsor City pilot program on student rental in specific areas. So honestly, we don't have a clear guidelines as of now. That it's approved, it's in the phase where they're developing on how to implement it, I believe. I haven't got any notices. I touched on this last week live, where as of now we don't have a clear guidelines on how they're gonna decide which property is a rental property, or how they're gonna inspect each of those properties. So as of now we don't have a full details on that. But resale homes are built in 1990s, which is old at the end of maintenance work. So this is a common question I get every day. Look, if you're buying a brand new home, yes, it's completely brand new. but there is no guarantee that you won't have maintenance. And same thing with the older home. If you're buying an older home, yes, if it's not updated from years, if the roof is old, if the furnace is old, if AC is old, plumbing is old, electrical is old, or foundation has some cracks, yes, you will have way more work than the newer home. So newer homes have their own advantages, older homes have their own advantages. Newer homes, yes, you don't have to worry about foundation because you have Tarian warranty. The first year probably you don't have to worry about wear and tear. And first 15 years you don't have to worry about new roof, new furnace, new AC, because everything are new. um, because if you're someone, that's your thing, that's fantastic. But the other side, newer homes, normally you're paying higher price. Like, let's say you're buying a detached home, um, in an area where newer homes are $1 million. In the same area you can get for 700,000, like, probably for lower price, for a 10 years 15 years old home, because 10 15 years old home has an older kitchen, older washroom, older flooring, and older foundation, older mechanicals, and all those things, right? So basically, if your budget and if your interest allows you to go for newer homes, that's all good. If you're talking about investment, specifically, if personal use, I would say whatever makes sense to you. I would not even comment on buying a new construction or resale. But if you're looking to invest, and if you are someone with a limited budget, the resale options are more than newer homes. But at the same time, also with the older homes, if the foundation is good, if the mechanicals are in a good standing, working, have a life, then you can improve the property. You can make the kitchen brand new, you can make the washroom brand new, you can update the whole inside with 50 60,000. Now you're improving your property value as well, because you have remodeled the house. But again, if you're someone, you don't want to do all that work, you don't want to go through that hustle, yeah, then pick the new. There is no right or wrong with the investments. Trust me, this is one thing I would say: no matter which investment you're getting into, if it's a good location, if it can at least pay for itself, and solid structure wise solid, then it will be a good investment in long run. Good location, where you can get good rent, that pay for itself, and the foundation is good, you can rest everything, you can improve over the period. And it depends on whether you want to do right away or you want to do later on, one at a time. But the regular maintenance items, if your plumbing is updated and everything is updated in an older home, and you're buying a newer home or this older home that is updated, both will have maintenance issues, because tenant poured water on the floor, or the sump pump stopped working, the basement got flooded, or the toilet, the toilet was full because something broken, or the tenants left the water in the tub and the water overflowed, and the drywall underneath got completely busted, or you forgot to turn off the heating, and the pipe's frozen in the winter, and the pipe burst. Driver work, maintenance work, right? So maintenance work can come either ways. It's either you invest in a newer home right away with a higher price, or you buy older home and invest along the way. It depends on you, whichever the way you want to go, whichever makes sense to you. Hey Tony, how are you? Tarun. Hey Tarun, I just started my YouTube channel. Welcome onto the YouTube channel, buddy. On real estate investing. Would you be interested in giving one interview in Windsor this month? Sure, DM me. More than happy to do collaboration. DM me. We can talk about the timings and all those things. Do you think the interest rate hikes will go down in 2023? CPI in December 2022 is equal to CPI in July 2022, meaning we have 0% inflation for the last 6 months. Um, come July 2023, we should have low inflation of around 3%. So, again, this is the area where I can throw some guesses, but I'm by no mean I'm an expert in this area. Basically, I'm just reading, just like you guys. I'm reading a lot of articles and what's happening, right? I'm trying to grab other experts' ideas and come to some kind of a opinion by reading those. So my opinion, as of now, I think by end of 2023, we might see maybe some interest rate drop. We might not see as crazy as they increased, but we might see a slight drop by end of the year. Maybe start seeing beginning of 2023, because like you said, by then inflation might come into a little bit more on the lower side. How is Windsor market? So in general, personally, again, this is my opinion because I've been living here for last 8 years. I have seen the job market has grown in Windsor. I have seen people, new people coming into the city has grown. I have seen new students coming into the city grown. I have seen a lot of new small businesses coming up in Windsor. Like restaurants, different grocery stores, those kind of things that needed for day to day, for day to day basis, for day to day needs. Those things I have seen, and I have been seeing. And when it comes to from a price point of view, we have seen from 2015, we have seen the market started to go up, like by on an average of like 8 to 10% every year, and then COVID happened, and at the time of the first initial stage at the COVID time, like there was almost like 10 to 15% drop in the prices, and then it started to skyrocket. The 2021 and 2022 until April was like prices were increasing, just like there is no other day. If you don't buy a property now, you're never going to buy a property. Is kind of, I think, across most of the Ontario cities. But now again, when the interest rates started to increase, we have seen from average home price of 723 to right now to January 2023. It almost like in this 8 9 months we have seen a drop of almost 205 208,000. Yes, so 723 average home price in April. Now it's 516,000, around there. So we have seen ups and downs. But from an economy point of view, from the what's the right word here? Unemployment rate has gone down. The immigration has increased. So those two metrics, I feel, the vacancy rate for investor, what they look for is still we are under 5% vacancy rate. So that means if you see a property, if you have like 10 units, probably you can expect maybe a 1 unit might be vacant. So that's what I think the market is at right now. I will put money down on a bet that rates will not decrease in 2023, and would even take the bet on 2024, even if the inflation rate is 2%, target in summer 2023. So, Robert, I love to hear, why do you think that, rates will not decrease? I love to hear. Again, like I said, this is a subject I'm still learning. I'm, I'm genuinely interested. A house used to be a store of equity for people. Now it's a place where investors try to make profit. Liberals face an election down the road. The housing market is a big topic. Yeah, that's so true. Housing market is a big topic for politics, and that's why the foreign buyer ban, all this different kind of implications that they're bringing in. Do you think, do you look at the other markets outside of Windsor? If you do, mind sharing which ones? Maybe I'm the the most boring person, I just try to keep it within the Windsor. Only property I have outside of Windsor right now is one in Calgary. That is also, I took a gamble. I won't say I did a solid research. I did a basic research. I thought, there is also some population growth happening there, and the Calgary, they're attracting a lot more new migrants, and they're being more flexible with the tax rates. They're attracting employers as well, because before it was completely oil based. Now they're like slowly attracting this IT industries with different tax advantages, so which is making people to move, and also the prices being still at an affordable price there. So that's the reason why I got one property. Mm, and I have a couple of pre-constructions in GTA, around GTA, two of them not couple, just to one, of course, the GTA market is never going to go anywhere. No matter what happens in a short term, the prices may go up, go down, but the renters will always be there, because that's the biggest city in Canada. So where does the immigrants go when they're attracting another 1 million in next 2.5 3 years, one more than 1 million new immigrants coming into this country? Where are they going to go? First of all, the 50% going to go to Toronto, GTA. You don't want to go and look at Detroit. uh, I looked in the beginning. For me, I think I invested quite a bit in Windsor, and I got so comfortable. And I'm focusing heavily on my sales business. Growing the team, helping the agents to do what I'm doing. All those things already taking up quite a bit of time. So now I'm looking into more like passive investments rather than active. If I'm looking into an active, mostly only multifamilies. So right now I have a big project going on. That's where all my money tied up. So I didn't want to. I like to do one at a time. So I have like that one. If you have seen my video, I'm doing office renovations for me and my team, where my studio is going to be. It's a huge project, and also that property I bought have a land where I want to build a 10-unit building. So I need a lot more funds for that. So that's what I want to do, one project at a time, so that I don't have to deviate so much from the sales. This is where I'm right now with my current plans. Harsha, coming to population growth, apparently um, Moncton and Newbie is the fastest growing city in Canada, 6% growth last year. Are you up to investing here? Harsha, like I said, I'm a very conservative and slow process investor. I like to go like a tortoise, one at a time. If there is any really, really good opportunity, DM me. I don't want to say I'm open. I'm kind of, close, trying to keep one at a time. As of now, most of my money tied up on one of the biggest project that could take me another year or two. So, but again, love to hear. I don't want to say completely no. Just curious. Always would love to learn more about different cities. At least that way I can share for our audience here on YouTube. So yeah, guys, and actually I'm gonna jump out of the live soon, because my phone keep on buzzing for this offer presentation going on. But I'll be here for another 2 minutes if you have any questions. And also just a heads up that we have our investor meetup coming up on February 10th. Again, this is just a very informal meetup where just meet and greet. We all meet. I love to see you guys in person. See how you guys look, and meet and talk about Windsor. Talk about what's going on in your life. See how we can help each other. Just networking with different investors here locally. So if you're looking to come down to Windsor on February 10th, I put the link in the description in the chat. You can click that link where it will take you to the Eventbrite page. It has a small fee just to get some food, and also um, mm, apart from the food, rest everything goes to the donations for a charity in India that I, after becoming a father, and that too for a girl. I started, giving back, not only just from sharing my knowledge and experience, and also, some funds to girls who, this charity, this focus on getting the girls educated in India, because there's a lot of orphan girls that they don't get education, they don't get a chance to live their life to the best. Are you looking to Are you looking for investors for your 10-unit building project? I'm not sure as of now. It's a very, as of now, it's in a very, very, very beginner phase where I have the land for free and clear. So I'm in the process of getting the permits because it's zoned for only 4 units. So my architect and planner are working to get 10-unit building. So that's in the process. So once I have the approval, because I have a free and clear land, so probably I might get a construction loan. So most likely, no. Um, but if there is any other multifamily comes up, definitely should DM me. Your email. I'll keep in the loop. When are you taking in investment for your next big investment? As of now, I don't have any plans, Sarvesh. If there is anything comes up, I'll let you know, guys. I'm not a guy to, take up the money first and sit on it. I have seen a lot of people lose the money. Like I said, I want to do one at a time. Right now, we are working on a 27-unit building that we raised money. The last one was in June. That project is progressing very well. We just did a quarterly update for our investors. We, out of 27 units, we were able to get 7 units up to market rents. We did some creative stuff, cash for key, moving to different, moving up in the units for newer rents, improving things in the unit. So different kind of things that now, we are we have, few more units to go to refinance, probably another year down the road. So yeah, one step at a time. But I'll definitely, shout out for my database when I have something come up. Will they raise interest rates in March, in your opinion? I feel, yes, they might increase another 2.25 basis points. Maybe. I think so. That's my opinion. Yeah. Does Savio work in GTA? Wanted to get legal basement completed. I don't think so, because managing a project that long might be too far for him. But again, DM him. You never know. Do you have any recommendations for finding tenants, students, or new immigrants, or in general? So, if it's in Windsor, what I where I see it works effectively is Facebook marketplaces, some groups, especially for students or immigrants. That Facebook marketplace is working like killer. And also for student rental specifically, I'm working with a guy here in Windsor. He's now my leasing agent, doing a very good job. So if you want to, if you have any student rentals, you need any help, DM me. I'll get you information there. With other any plans for taking businesses outside real estate? Not really. I'm not that entrepreneurial. I'm just a sales guy and a small investor who likes to, stay within this the knowledgeable area. The areas where I can continues to better myself every day, and not to have too much, where I love that freedom, right? Like, so that's why I'm keeping myself closed mind on those things, new opportunities, unless if I find a solid, working partner, and where I have to be a capital partner, maybe, if something really great comes up. What is the scenario of the real estate in Halifax, Nova Scotia? Navjot, honestly, no idea. I'm not an expert in that area at all. Anyone have an expertise? Maybe, let me know, DM me. We can do a live together. Any experts from Nova Scotia? And also, someone talked about MB. any different areas. I would love to do an interview, I want to learn from you guys, any experts that that you would recommend me talking to and get them on interview. DM me your recommendations. I love to get them on the interview so we all can learn together, right? So with that, thank you so much, guys. It's always fun to chat with you on live. I always look forward for these lives. I don't know why. It's just blessing. And also a side note, like I mentioned, we have the meetup coming up on February 10th. And also, we have a lot of investment properties right now that are good for cash flow. If anyone looking in Windsor market for cash flowing properties, DM us. Don't hesitate. My team is very solid right now. They're very knowledgeable in different neighborhoods and different areas to help you how to analyze and writing multiple offers until you get the right one that you think makes sense to you, based on the numbers and based on your financial situation. So don't hesitate to reach out for the help. With that, thank you guys. See you on the next slide. Take care.